because they tried to change the French Revolution from a middle-class, bourgeois, capitalist revolution, constitutional revolution, into a communist revolution. Now, Buonarroti is also the founder of the Carbonari, of which Mazzini was the head in the 1840s, which united Italy in the 1860s. Do you see? So, if you start with Buonarroti, which as far as I can see is 1893 and 1793, 1794, I think you can trace a connection down through these various secret societies which culminate in the Mazzini Carbonari. For example, I'll say one thing. Italy was able to get free from Austria only because France defeated Austria. Why did France do that? Nobody can see why. It wasn't to France's interest. And yet France declared war in 1859 on Austria, and at the Battle of Magenta and Solferino defeated, and suddenly made a peace treaty without freeing all of Italy. And the reason we're told they suddenly made the peace treaty was because the emperor, this is Napoleon III, was so sickened at the sight of the blood. Do you see? Now, why did he do this? He did this because in 1868, a Carbonaro threw a bomb at him. This Carbonaro was arrested, executed, but before he was executed, the emperor went to his cell, as I understand it, and the Carbonaro gave him the secret sign of a fellow Carbonaro because the emperor of France, was elected president of France in 1848, seized the throne in 51 and proclaimed a new Napoleonic empire, and was overthrown by the Germans in 71. So he was the emperor for 70 really, for 20 years, you see. But he had been a refugee from France because he tried to make a revolt in France, I think it was 1829. And as a refugee, he joined the Carbonari secret society. Furthermore, he was a private policeman in the Chartist March on Parliament in London in 1848, the year in which he was elected president of France. He's a mysterious figure, do you see? So, what I'm summing up is this. I do think that there is probably a continuous sequence of secret societies from Buonarroti, Bob Birth conspiracy, which is 1894-95, through the Carbonari unification of Italy, which would be 1861. I cannot see anything since then. It may exist. I haven't really studied it. But I cannot see any connection between the Masons and the Illuminati, founded in Bavaria in 1776. And I can't see any connection between them and Buonarroti. Well, now, that's what these people are saying. It's all one.
Right.
And some of them say it goes back to Noah building the ark.
Well, one thing that it seems to me the conspiracy theory of history is appealing because
it's so simple.
It explains everything that is unexplainable.
It's going wrong.
And if you raise one point that doesn't fit, they say, see how clever the conspiracy is.
Yes. Now,
that they've
I want to show you something. This is what they start. They start by showing you a $1 bill. And they say, why is there a pyramid with an eye over it? Do you see? This is the symbol of the secret society. Now, if you ask people, the secret society, according to them, there's only one, you see.
That's right.
Now,
the secret society that's gone through generations, through centuries.
Yes. Now, if you ask the United States government why it is there, they have great difficulty explaining, and they mostly come up with it's the Masons, Masonic symbol. But then you say, why should the Masonic symbol be on the American dollar bill? And they have no explanation. So there is something. If you look at this monument in Alexandria to Washington, it is the pyramid. You see, there's the eye over it is the light. You see. So I could go further into this, but won't have to, because this symbol is at least 6,000 years old. And I can give you the history of the 4000 BC. It has nothing to do with the Masons. Now, maybe the Masons adopted it, you see. But it has nothing. But I will not go into that. That's a totally different story.
Okay, so this man from Nevada, or this person from Nevada
called me up and said they were having a hard time with the anti-Semites using this book as an argument against Wall Street, against bankers, against Jews, against communists, and everything else. And they wanted me to debate with this fellow who got in touch with me, who was a professor at the university.
Who believes this?
No, he doesn't believe it. He was trying to get rid of it. The same way the fellow who called me from Brigham Young was trying to stop this hysteria, which was sweeping that mountain area, apparently.
Right.
And so they said, would you debate Gary Allen and Larry Abram? And I said, well, I'd rather not. Frankly, he says, well, we need your help. And I says, well, are they both going to be debating me? And he says, no, there's a Dr. So-and-so here who will debate with you. And he is, I think, a medical doctor. I'm not certain of that. But he was Jewish. And what he was interested in was the anti-Semitism part of it.
He's going to debate on your team, on your side.
On my side. Right. And they said it's going to be absolutely the strictest thing. We'll be on the air for an hour. We'll be hooked up on telephone through the country. I will be the coordinator, said this fellow, of this, and it'll be rigorous. You must stay on the subject or I will stop you. There must be no personality attacks or I will stop you. You can each talk for 10 minutes, I think it is, or 5 minutes it could have been. And then when each of the four has talked, I think it was for 10 minutes, then each will have the right to have a 5-minute rebuttal or something, you see. Now, in the course of it, I soon discovered that Gary Allen didn't know up from down. But Larry Abram was immensely well informed. He knew all about corporation finance and bankers and who were their partners. He's tremendous, I think.
How did you find out talking to people?
I found it out from the debate.
Oh, okay, that's what I was going to ask. You did go to the debate?
Yeah, Larry Allen simply repeated everything that was in here.
Right.
When I put in my rebuttal and said these various things, he then started pulling information at me. Some of it I had never heard of. Now, I don't know everything. And the new book that's out now, published by the Buckley, I guess it's the Bill Buckley Press, Arlington House, I suppose it's Bill Buckley, I'm not sure of that, called The Bolsheviks and Wall Street. Oh, we got to go to lunch. The Bolsheviks and Wall Street has lots of things in there that I didn't know. I just stopped it. Yeah, well, I told you that. You want to put down there?
Yeah.
I generally would think that any conspiracy theory of history is nonsense, for the simple reason that most of the conspiracies that we know about seem to me to be the conspiracies of losers, people who have been defeated on the platforms, let's say, the historical platform of the public happenings. The Ku Klux Klan was their arguments and their point of view had been destroyed and defeated in the Civil War. Well, because they're not prepared to accept that, they form a conspiracy, you see, to fight against it in an underground way. And those people who could fight up in the open do so. Those who can't go underground. It seems to me this is essentially what conspiracy, the Palestinian Liberation Army, would be a similar thing. You see, I think on the whole they're pretty well a group that has not got really very much, and so they have to be terrorists. And
well, if I can play the devil's advocate, I think talking about the international banking conspiracy, they have not lost out. They simply don't want any attention. They don't want to draw the ire of the people.